Alright, welcome to this episode of Hillbilly Repairman. In this episode, I've been having problems with my Ford 851 tractor. I don't know why it started doing this, but started leaking oil. Every time I would turn, it would leak oil out of the top of the steering column, and it would just make a mess everywhere, ruin every pair of pants and shoes that I was using while I was driving that tractor. And I finally got sick of it, so we're going to tear it apart and fix it. So let's go do it. All right, so here's my tractor. Got it all torn apart here so that I can replace some seals. It was leaking. It was leaking out the top here where the steering wheel goes on. A ton of oil or power steering fluid. You can see it all over. It's been a nightmare for a few months. I don't drive this tractor very often, but every time I do, I kind of been dreading it. So I've taken it all apart. Sorry I didn't video any of that, but I will video putting it all back together so you know what's going on. Basically, there's an O-ring that goes here, and then there's another valve body, another O-ring, and then up inside the steering column there's another seal, and that's the one that I think is bad, but since I'm here, I'm going to replace the other two as well. So let me get those pieces, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got it all cleaned up, and I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on here to hold the O-ring in here while I'm working. So hopefully it doesn't come out. Alright, there's the new O-ring. Alright, now coming up is the most important part of this job. And what it is there are these little springed valve. I guess they're part of the valve. I couldn't really figure out how they work. But if you have taken one apart, you'll know that they just fall out and you don't know where they go. So here's how they go. You have one of these with this up in the hole, only in this hole, and then you have a ball. And then you have another ball that's going to go right in here. And then you have to turn it upside down so that this side is sticking out. And that goes down in the hole. Now the rest of the holes, get these. They get one in each. And then they all get a spring. And then they all get one more So this is where I think the problem is. There's a seal that goes right down in here. For some reason, well, I'm pretty sure that the top seal up here where the steering wheel comes out, I don't think it was sealed correctly, and there was a lot of dirt down inside here. So I think it just wore away at the seal. This is the seal. I went this morning to New Holland and bought it. There's my tool I'm going to use to install it. So I'm going to use the press. I'm going to just press the seal in, and then I'll show it to you when I'm all done. Well, it's hard to see, but I've got the seal seated down inside there. So this part's ready to go back on. I don't know if you can, oh, there you can kind of see it. Let me change the light here. There you go. Now you can see the seal down in there. So this piece is ready to go back on. I got it all cleaned up. It was just full of crud, and I'm pretty sure what happened is it kind of leaked down or fell down and ground away at the old seal. So I've got all the crud out now, and hopefully it won't do that again. Okay, so here's my steering column. I got the column back together. I still got to put the rest of the tractor back together, but it's really cumbersome to try and work around the camera. So this is as far as I'm gonna go videoing the process. When I got it all back together, I'll shoot another video of it complete. And if you got any questions, you can ask me. It took me a couple times because one time I had this piece turned around, but I cut that out of the video so you didn't see it. And I don't know why I'm telling you about it now, but anyways, it's not that hard to do. It just takes some time. I've got to take the tractor halfway apart. So anyways, I'm going to finish up the rest of it and get back to you. All right, thanks for watching this episode of Hillbilly Repairman. That was a much bigger job than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting to pull the tractor almost completely apart. You know, at least all the sheet metal was off. I mean, it was a little more involved than I thought, but it had to be done. I was really tired of
buying shoes because of that tractor. I was always nervous to drive it. It was kind of weird because they would, while you're driving it, it would kind of get low on oil, on power steering fluid, and one tire would go one way and one would go the other way, and you just didn't, it just was not a good deal. So I'm glad it's fixed. I don't know, we'll see you next time on He'll Be the Repairman.